Of course, I love stopping by places like this that are just as I'm bugging around Kentucky, I get to see. Don't know if I have any real spiritual lessons as I'm thinking about this. I felt a little dry in making these videos here lately. It's been a while. But I guess just some of the comments that I have about this is back then, particularly in regard to the Civil War, uh, whatever you want to say about all that and monuments and all that. I think I even made a video about that a while back and some of my thoughts. But regardless of any of that, part of the thing back then was it was a geographical civil war within our country. And I was thinking about that in regard to today and some of the same kind of issues that are happening today that would spark a civil war, but we don't have it based on necessarily on geography. It's all of us. We all have opinions anymore because of social media, and we put all that out there, and we're mad at this politician or mad at this policy, or we don't like what people say. We get passive aggressive as we communicate with each other. It just could get kind of messy, and it gets a bit overwhelming because of social media, particularly because everybody's got a voice. Back then for the Civil War, it was certain people that spoke for these different ideologies. We didn't have the kind of media or communication that we do today. So today is unique, and I'm not sure how God is going to work through all this and what He's going to do. But I do know as Christians we're called to something different. I think I've even talked about this in another video too, called to a different standard. But it just continues to be incumbent upon us as people look at us. They see something different. It's always a challenge to me to look at my life and think through what does that mean? What's my presence, particularly online? How do I interact with people in the world, particularly people that think differently and different beliefs? I think we're called to live at peace with all peoples, so much as it depends upon us. But interestingly, as particularly in light of the fact that Billy Graham died a week or so ago. This is the 1st of March, around the beginning of March 2018. Thinking about his life, his message was clear. It was the gospel message. It didn't matter what context he went into. He always brought it back around to that. Now, he met with so many different people, and he went to so many different countries and interacted with leaders that he definitely didn't agree with, and he said so. But the gospel was something that he knew would bring people together, and that had the only power. So I was looking at different videos of Billy Graham here in the last week or so, just so many different tributes out there. It's interesting to see that losing my train of thought here, trying to cover a lot of ground in a short period of time. It was interesting to see in his crusades the variety of people, the different nationalities. It didn't matter what you look like and where you're from. That message that he spoke appealed to everyone, and people responded by the hundreds and thousands and millions. I don't know what has happened with all those people that have made those commitments. I know that it has affected my life by people that I love that have made commitments to Christ because of Billy Graham. But I'd like to think that those that stood up and came forward are the same that are going to be the kind of people that our country and our world needs to bring us back to Christ. I don't know if these are signs of the end times or what. I have no idea. It sure seems like it and sure looks like it. But until Christ comes back again, we have a job. And so whoever's watching this video, and I'm particularly making this for my children and my grandchildren, I'm calling all of us for us to look different, for us to set kind of the example that we've seen through Billy Graham. I know he was just a mere man, but what he did in answering the call of God upon his life and his faithfulness and his trust in God is a good example for us to follow. A mere man could do that, and a mere man touched millions. We can do the same. Maybe not millions, but we can touch those around us, our neighbors, people we work with. As we interact with them, we don't have to believe in everything that they say and that they do. But we are called to love. And we're called to live at peace with people. Still proclaiming the gospel, because it's the hope of salvation for all who believe. It's the power of God. What else can we do? As I look around us, the world has got no answers. Well, they think they do, and they propose a lot of things, but those things just aren't working. They weren't meant to work. So there you go, folks. I challenge you. Whatever age you are right now, my dear grandchildren, children, till the day you die, step up for Christ. Closing out here at Mill Spring Mill. Beautiful day. Spring is in the air. I can hear the birds out here. I love it. Bye. I love you.